Hello. Yes, and now? Can you hear better? Can you hear better, Yanis? Sandra, can you hear Abigail? Now, okay. Yeah. Good to see you here. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. How do you do today, Yanis? This evening, night? Abigail and Sandra, how do you do? Do you have a time out for a bit? I hope you do. If you have questions or impressions, yes, that you would like to share, please feel free. We're here for you. Felipe, good morning from the olive plantation. That's great. It is a very, hello, very happy to see you here. It is a very beautiful day here. The sun is shining, there are clouds, there is a bit of wind. Very beautiful day. Would you like to say something, Felipe, Sandra, Abigail, Yanis, before we start? You have an option? Yes, Felipe.
Hello.
Hello, Felipe. How do you do?
Hello, Eti. I'm fine. We are in a vacation, a family vacation. So I'm glad I am. We are kind of making lots of. How can I say? We are just enjoying time. But I was happy to read the verse you brought about the olive trees because I was thinking about this in the middle of this olive plantation here. It's a beautiful place we are in. So just to thank you and to say that I'm glad to be here to listen and to share experience. Thank you.
Great. We wish you a great vacation, great time with the family and friends, wherever you
Thank you,
are.
Eti.
On the olive
Yes,
plantation.
thank
Yes,
you.
that's great. That's great. So now, oh, this is Aurora. Good morning. Bom dia, Aurora. Bom dia. Happy to hear you. Now, a question to everyone. What is a mountain? Yes? What is a mountain? Before we start to open the verse, what is a mountain referring to? How? How is a mountain? How? What is a mountain? What does it refer to? How? Does it bring any memories if you were listening to us or you're reading Weinreb? How mountain? How mountain is referring to the thought. Good morning, Cindy. We are very happy to see you here. Have you heard this before? That when we speak about mountain, yes, we are speaking about a thought. Is it new to you? Is it the first time you hear it? That mountain refers to a thought. Is it the first time? Yes, new. Sandra, Cindy, is it new to you that the word mountain, yes, refer to a thought? Yes. We have Har. Har is a mountain. Har. Heresh, Har. And we have Hirhu. Hirhu is a thought or pondering. Yes, Har, Hirhu. You can see the letters are, in a way, repeating themselves. Har, Hirhu, Machshava, thought. Yes, pondering, ponder. Let's say, meditating. This is why people are sitting on the mountain meditating. It has to do with that as well. So to open the verse, we are opening word by word, and then we shall connect them together like beads on a necklace. Is the process of opening verses new to you? Word by word, decoding word by word. Every word is a bead or a sphere. And when we are connecting them together, like beads on a necklace, we have a jewelry. Or if every word is a sphere or a gem, suddenly everything illuminates. Yes, because we open, each word can illuminate, and then we have a necklace, yes, a piece of jewelry, or illuminated idea. Is this clear, how the sages are opening those verses? The process of opening, is it new to you? Now, what? You understand? Great. Great. Now, olives. Olives. What are olives? Except of eating them, yes, as a fruit. What is the benefit of olives? Because everything which is created is serving the wholeness. What, yes, what can we do with olives except of eating them? What can we maybe not make, but the process of looking at olives, and what can press oil? Yes, yes. And when we have a pressed oil, olive oil, what can we do with this? First, let's write it in Hebrew. Shemen. Shemen is oil. Yes, shemen. Shemen is oil. Has the value of 390. Like Shemaim, like heavens. Yes? Yes, so we open Har, mountain, olives, yes? And his feet. How many feet does a human have? How many? And his feet shall stand in that day upon the mountain of olives. How many feet? Usually 2. So 2 is referring to what? To what perception of what? Duality. So, in that day, yes, his feet, the duality, the perception of duality will stand or shall stand upon the duality, yes, will stand on the mountain of olive, realizing what? Mountain is a thought. Olives, from olives we can make what? Oil. Oil, shemen, refers to heaven. Yes, so his feet will stand on the thought of seeing the perspective. He can finally realize the perspective of heavenly life. Yes? When 2 become 1. Yes? When 2, yes, realize the one or the heavenly perspective, which is a non-dual. Do we understand this verse? Why does this verse also Zacharia says this one? Do we understand? Cindy, Sandra, Yanis, Felipe, do we understand that point of view? His feet, yes, duality, the perspective of the duality suddenly shifts, standing on the mountain of olives, receiving a different input, yes, a different perspective, the heavenly perspective. Did you understand? Sandra, Yanis, Cindy. And this is why the prophet says this one, that one day people might, yes, switch, something will happen to them. Who is he? Yes, who is he? Yes. The one who has the perspective of two, of duality, one day, day is not just a day on the calendar, but it's a moment of like a split of a second, yes, that there is a hearing and understanding of non-two. Yes, in that illumination, yes. It's not a day on the calendar, 25th of November, yes. It's not a date, it's not a datum in Latin, but it's a moment, in a spark of illumination. Yes, it comes like a snap, and then, yes, we're not living, we're not creatures in a way. Though we have hands and feet, this is not our source. This is not who we are. On the mountain, realizing, yes, when somebody, yes, stand, yes, let's say on a territory, he is like, it's under his feet, so to speak. There is an understanding. Yes. So what is understanding? Yanis always asks, what is understanding? Under the word standing. Standing. This is understanding. Standing with 2 feet, and his feet are on the mountain, but understanding under what his feet are. Yes? Or not under, what is under his feet is the mountain of olive. So he has this understanding that he is a non-two. And he has a heavenly perspective of things. Understood, Yanis, Sandra, Cindy, Felipe? Is this understood? And there is continuity to this verse, and then the mountain shall split to the 4 directions of the wind, and then there is a split of 4, so there is an understanding that we are not the 4 seasons or 4 sides, directions of the wind, but standing upon the mountain of olives. Yes? Have the perspective of the one. Yes, Felipe.
Eti,
Yes?
I was just thinking, one of the most beautiful symbolisms we learned with you, it was this aspect of the shemen, the oil that stands above time and space, above the water. It's so beautiful because even in nature, when you put oil and water, the oil will stay above the water. And
Thank you.
as we learned that water stands for time, the symbolism of the oil being the spirit and this aspect of life that has nothing to do with duality. This is so beautiful. Just wanted to share this.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Aurora and Felipe. Yes. In nature, yes, oil is hovering above the face of the water. If water represents time, oil is above. This is the spirit. Yes, and his feet shall stand on the mountain of olives, so he shall understand or gain the perspective of the spirit or of the timeless. This is what Zacharia means in this verse. There is, Luke, we're very happy to see you here. Good morning. There is, to those who visited Jerusalem, there is a mountain there called the Mountain of Olives. Many people during the generations were asking to be buried there. This is a very wanted place. And because of this, yes, prophecy of Zacharia, that they will realize non-duality. Gat shmanim. You mean gat shmanim. Okay, gat shmanim. This is what you mean, gat shmanim. So gat, when you, the place where you press the olive. Gat shmanim. 2 words, yes? In English, there is like, there's a rollover, but it's gat. Gat is the place of which you step upon or press the olives or the wine, yes, gat. This is gat. And shemanim, 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 gat, shmanim, gat, shmanim. This is the place. Questions so far? You're most welcome. And this is the way that the sages, in a way, are opening each verse and verse. Yes? Not immediately translating, because immediately translating, like, let's say, machinery, like machines, like AI, yes? Translated, this is just the mechanics of the language. Hebrew, because it's Hebrew, it doesn't work like any other language. Mechanical translation. Once you translate it to another language, it becomes a tree of knowledge. Yes? This is why the Torah or the Bible is called the tree of life. Yes? Because of the opening. Yes? If you have read the book, Hebrew Roots, so far, the first chapter is about, yes, the combinations. The combination. HaTorah, the Bible is called Tzerufa. Tzerufa. This is how the Bible is called. Tzerufa. HaTorah or the Bible is Tzerufa. This is combinations. Because you can open it infinitely once you print it in another language. Greek, Latin, English. It doesn't matter. It becomes finite. Yes? The Hebrew is always open. The door is never closed. Never. Never. Tzerufa, from tzeruf. Tzeruf is a combination, because you can take the same letters and combine them in a different order, and then you have a new creation. Yes, we say in English we say goldsmith, the one who makes the jewelry by hand, ornaments and so. In Hebrew, tzoref. He makes the different combinations of beads, silver or gold, or diamonds, gems, pearls. Yes, goldsmith. Yes, Yanis. Olives is the 6th day. Yes. So how does it connect? Yes. Yes, very good. 6th day. And what sphere resonates with the 6th day? Continue, Yanis. Very good. Which sphere is associated with the 6th day? Yesod. Very good. Foundation, Yesod. So what does Yesod hold inside? This is what we were speaking about, combinations. So what Yesod holds inside? Which letters? Sod. What is a sod? What is sod in Hebrew? Mystery. Very good. Mystery. Yes. Thank you, Felipe and Aurora. Thank you so much. Have a good vacation. Toda. Yes, so the one who stands on the mountain of olives, yes, and olive is associated with the 6th day of Sfirat Yesod. Yesod, foundation, holds the sod, the mystery, the secret. Yes, the secret of the one. This is it. Hello, Fernando. Good morning. Happy to see you here. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Yes, Yanis? So you see this is the beauty. Why do they say that the Torah is a tree of life? From every door, from every opening, you have the truth coming. Yes? Either when you open, word by word, or either when you associate it with the 6th day. It's the same thing. Shlomo, very good to see you here. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good, good. So we were just opening the verse from Zacharia 14:4. Yes, we explained what Mountain of Olive is, meaning not just the geographical space near Jerusalem. What does it mean? Mountain of Olives. Mountain, Har, Hirhu, a thought. Yes, olives. From olives we make oil, shemen. Shemen has the value of 390, like Shemaim, heavenly perspective. That the one, his feet, duality, suddenly there is a shift in us in a split of a moment, and we can have this access to the non-duality. And to Shlomo, who reads the Ashlag writings, the Ashlag always uses this verse, always quotes this verse many, many times in his writing, referring to non-duality. Non-two. Non-two. His feet, duality, will stand. Yes, but we say in English, understanding, under the standing. What is under the standing? If your feet will stand, so under his standing is the Mountain of Olive. He will understand that he is not a creature of space and time. Also, Felipe added to us with Aurora that shemen oil, yes, floats upon the face of the water. Yes. Water is time, and the soul is always there, the spirit hovering like the heavens, yes? That he shall have this perspective. In that day, in that moment, in that illumination. Yes, it's not a day in the calendar, like people say, the end of time, split of a second. I understand. First of all, you see that understanding itself is a composition of two words. Let's start with this. Under and standing. Yes, Yanis, let's start with this. Understanding, yes, is divided by two. Under and standing. Yes, Yanis? Understanding. In English, yes? Understanding. Good. also bina. Bina is bain, between the two. So when we understand, in a way, in our head, when we understand someone, let's say, take a daily story. Someone at work has problems with his wife. So his mind is distracted. He's not concentrated. And one day he just has a snap and just cannot contain this thing anymore. And he shares this thing in the office with friends. So when he shares the stress that goes through him, people express understanding. What does it mean? For a split of a moment, the narration about themselves stops, and they can put themselves in the shoes, in the situation of the other. If he has such a problems at home, yes, he has empathy. This is understanding, to be in the place of the other. To live. This is how many times the Zohar says, come and see. Many, many times. Fernando is here, can testify. He wrote many, many hours of Zohar. Yes. So, come and see. What is come and see? Why to come and to see? Come and see. Why come and see? To become one. Very good. To move into the other perspective. In a way, come and see. This is what Rabbi Shimon says to his son all the time. Come and see. Leave, yes, the place that you're holding in your mind as an understanding, as what you think life is. Leave this. This is why he says, come and see. Come and see is only part of it, but the meaning is leave the place that you're holding as, so to speak, absolute. Come and see and shift and evidence another perspective. This is why the Zohar, if you count how many times, I did not count, but infinitely there, when they want to introduce a new perspective to the reader, to the participant, participants of the conversation, they always say, come and see. What does it mean, come and see? Leave what you think or what you capture and move a bit, shift to another perspective. And then you can see or evident a completely different picture. This is how the Zohar works, always shifting to a new perspective. This is how we learn. So, now, returning back to Yannis' question. Why understanding has to do with Bina or Havana? Bina in Hebrew. 4 letters. Bina. Yes, 4 letters. Comes from bain, between. Between. That you can have a shift and suddenly notice there is another one, there is another life, there is another perspective. This guy in the office, he has problems. Once he shares it, people can understand. They show empathy. They have a space. There's a story. Something is happening here. So it's not me anymore. Yes, it's not me anymore. Like the mother. Also Bina, yes, has to do with the mother. The mother wants, there is a child. It's not about her as a person, so to speak. It's about the baby, the child. There's another one. She can show empathy to another life. Yes, this is how they speak. This is how they speak all the time. They always show each one of the friend to another perspective. Come and see. Come and see. Leave your place where you're holding, yes, your position in what you think, and see reality from this perspective. Yes? Now, just another perspective for understanding. Yes? Once, yes, in ancient times, people used to give birth on 2 stones. Have you heard this before? It is mentioned also in the Bible, in Exodus. Yes. Have you heard this before hospitals, yes, and medicine developed? Yes, people, ladies used to stand on 2 stones. Yes, stand. You have not heard. Who has heard it? Who has heard it? Cindy did not hear. Yanis did not hear. Sandra, did you hear? Yes. Sandra, did you hear about that? Luke, friends on YouTube, did you hear about that? Perspective or not? First time. Luke, Fernanda, Sandra, did you hear about this? If you can, I'm not sure Sandra can now, right? Because she's at work. So, yes, the word appears in the book of Exodus. Yes, about the midwife, that they can see on the 2 stones what is happening there. Because they have to give a diagnosis. Yes, who is a Hebrew child, who is not. Yes. So in ancient times, also we had a luck that I used to work once in how do you say, in a clinic. Yes, in a clinic, general clinic, and also part of the job also in the babies clinic, and we had a babies doctor. So first we shall start with the Bible, and then I will continue to what is happening now. And you will see how things are connected. So in the Bible, in the book of Exodus, yes, how ladies are, or how the process of birth is happening. Each woman who has the moment to give birth is standing on 2 stones. 1 stone under right feet, another stone under her left feet, and in between them she is standing, and when I don't know how to say, when the pain is coming, in Hebrew we call it excess. I don't know how to say it is in English. They have the pain that comes, we call it excess tzir. It's like an excess of the door. It's the same word. When the pain is coming and she has to push, yes? So she is standing on 2 stones and she push and bow her knees. And gravity does the rest, and if you push 2, 1, 2, 3, it's out. Have you heard this before? No. So, let's go back to the doctor. He was a Canadian doctor. And he was born in South Africa, was trained there as a doctor. Then they moved all the family to Canada. And then he came to Israel. And he found himself in this clinic. And he told me that still in those days, I mean a few years ago, that in Africa it's much simpler, the birth, he says. It's not much complicated. It has not to do with doctors, with machines, with whatever. And he just did this movement. He was kind of animated doctor with a red beard. He was a grandpa, happy grandpa. And he just showed us in the clinic, in the office, in the lobby, whatever that was there. How did they do it? Just stand. He just did it. Standing on 2 tiles or something, ceramics, and make this push with the hands down, with the knees down, and push. And he said 1, 2, and the baby's out. Without complications, he said. Yeah. So... why do I bring this story about the stones, which is called, by the way, Ovnaim? 2 stones, Avanim, Ovnaim, because Yanis would like to ask what understanding is, why it has to do with 2. Those stones are called Ovnaim, Even. 1 stone, Ovnaim, 2, duality. Why standing on Ovnaim, 2 stones? Because there's a duality. The moment of birth, yes, she needs 1 feet, another one, tuck out, yes, like a new life are being introduced to time and space. Yanis, did you understand? Good. Good. Another story this doctor told us, completely different, but it has to do with how much we don't know about anything. Really, nothing. A few years ago, also there was a war with Lebanon, and they were in Canada. They were having the doctor, his wife, 5 children, and he wanted to help. So he came here as a doctor to help. And there was a woman coming from Holland to help. She was a nurse. And they met in the storm of the war. And she conceived and gave birth to a child. And he tells me this story in the clinic. They were in Canada having 5 kids. He was coming here to help. Another lady came from Holland to help. They worked in a clinic, helping. And suddenly there was a new life coming. So, and I told this story to Rodrigo this week. He was thinking, yes, that he was coming to help. Yes, and new life had begun. This is how it is. He was convinced, yes, that he was coming to help in his perspective, and life takes their own course. We think that we know. We think that we know, but we know nothing. We never know. We think. Yes, I thought that I went to Germany to learn Zohar, and I discovered Weinreb. I was sure that I'm going to learn the pages one by one. We never know what is happening. Never know. We are lured to think that this is the target. Yes, that this is, but we never know. Jeremiah 3, let's see. Jeremiah 3. Okay. Jeremiah. I don't have a computer now. I have a Yanis. There is a. I'll try the Hebrew. Yes. No. There is a how do you say? There is a default on the keyboard, and suddenly it opens like inspect element windows, like with codes, and I cannot see now Jeremiah, so I cannot open it. We never know. We just think comes a thought to us. Yes, we think that we are following like from A to B, and something else, completely else, is going on. You remember this example that we gave about there's an artist who was making like, how do you say, decoration for theater. He says life is like this. the actors on stage are continue to say their lines, yes, to the audience, but in the background, in the back, yes, already the, how do you say, taf'oa, the background is changing for the new room, for the next scene, and they continue to speak like everything is there, but everything is changing. And he says this is not just in theater, it's also in life. We speak, and always something else is going on, completely different. Yes, Yanis, yes, it is. Yes, this is the word. Yes. Yes, we wish to. This is a very well put. To put a river into a box, we cannot put it. We never know what is happening. Never. Today, I read something very nice, a perspective of, how do you say, a citizen above 70 years old. He says that in our times there is a lot of, so to speak, news agencies, and there's so much access to news, and people are really informed, yes, what is happening in a different state, in a different continent. They know what happens in, let's say, another government. They even have concern of what is happening in another government, in another state, and they don't know what is happening next to the table. How much we are distracted, meaning we're not in the being, yes? We always think that there is better, or if I, let's say, expand my knowledge there, I'll find something, while everything is embedded in presence. Many people think that this is the thought, I will take advantage, or yes, of this situation. Yes, comes to a person, a thought, I will take advantage of this situation. Well, basically it's opposite to the situation takes advantage of the one who thinks that he takes advantage. This is non-duality. In a way, there is no me and the world. Like, we are the world. Yes? Once there used to be a song, God is watching us from a distance. Have you heard about those words? God is watching us from a distance. Maybe Whitney Houston, I'm not sure she used to sing. I'm not sure, but something of this time. Have you heard about these songs or lyrics? But who's watching? Who has two eyes? It's not God is watching us, no. And not from, of course, not from a distance. Of course not. It cannot be. Yes? Divinity is not outside of the world, outside of us. Yes? It's a lie. It's a lie. Now maybe you can browse through the music and find this. I think this is her. It doesn't matter, just to share how everything is, we say, bluff is just invention. It's not true. Yes, I'm very glad, Fernando. There is no distance, maybe, like Jana said, to scare to make people afraid. God is watching you. God is watching all your steps, and like, of course, what is this perspective is offering? There's like a policeman and there's a convict. Yes, God is watching you. No, of course not. How can it be? Of course, it's not true. Of course. Any questions or thoughts that you'd like to share? Mountain is like a spark or a thought. Yes, this is why people contemplate usually on the mountain. We always read that Moses was on the mountain for 40 days. It has to do with a thought day when everything is united as a potential. Yes. Yes. And this is quite interesting, Yanis, because there's a mountain. Yes. But to build houses, people go to the choir, how they call it, when they choir, I don't know the verb in English, maybe you can help me, to take a stone from the mountain. I don't know the word and the verb, but when people go with tools to make stones, to cut stones from the mountain. Yes, and then they can build a house with the stones that they were cutting off the mountain. This is in the physical realm, so to speak, but the thought is the potential, and then, like the spark that we have, idea, and then the stones are basically the words, yes, that are expressing, yes, this spark, and we build sentences, or sentences are being built, and then, yes, we have a story, and then there's a mountain, there's a potential. Yes, and this understanding, Yanis, is cutting, yes, or developing the spark into words. And then we have sentences, and sentence to sentence is a story. Yes, yes, Fernanda, also in dreams, I could see that when we are in the mountains, usually, yes, something, yes, yes, that's correct. That's correct. Why do we say Temple Mount? Temple Mount. Why the temple is on the mountain, so to speak. Why people, so to speak, build the temple on the mountain. Doesn't matter now here in Jerusalem, in other cultures as well. Olympus in Greece, where the gods are staying, yes, up there in the mountain, when everything is united. The potential is not yet liquidate. Yes? Why is the binding of, this is quite interesting, why the binding of Isaac happens on Mount Moriah, on the mountain, known to. Because God says, God, take the son that you love, Isaac, and please bring him as a sacrifice. So if he would follow this, it would be the father, one who sacrificed the subject and object, the father sacrificed, so to speak, the son. Yes, and then we have two, father and son. But it doesn't happen on the mountain. It's being stopped. Because it's non-duality, it's non-two, it's not the father and the son. This is only to our eyes. As we are perceiving that God is watching us from a distance, to our eyes there is a father and a son, but not from the absolute. Therefore it's being stopped, because it's not real. It's not real. Yes. Yes, it's the same thing. Yes. Yes. Very good. Very good. So, dear friends, with this beautiful conversation, I would like to wish all of us a very good week, beautiful season. Shana Tova, everyone, a very good year. And see you soon here on Monday. תודה ולהתראות.